So this is the first video that I'm gonna do, especially geared towards fellas, on give you some tips on how to identify how she ain't it. Red flags, whatever you want to call it, X, whatever. But yeah, I dealt with a lot of red flags and she ain't it, because it's rough, and it's like, I'm no expert. I am in a counseling program. I do have to pick up on certain patterns, but also, we all go through stuff in life. We all make dumb decisions, and we all just don't know better. So I just want to help out, and especially since I grew up in a loving household, I know what a woman and a wife, looks like, and I just want to give my brothers some help out there if they hurt them. So just some real finite tips. First, if she's selfish, man, if she's selfish, don't mess with her at all. And you really got to see how she is. Is she selfish? Does she do anything with her family? Do people have to tell her to do stuff all the time, or does she go out of her way to just help people out and serve people, or to get somebody some flowers when they are down, or to pick up some errand, to pick up some stuff for their mom? Do they do stuff like that, or is everything all about them? On like the reaction basis, in my personal life, I dealt with some selfish women. This one girl I dated, she was real high maintenance. It was to the point where I didn't have a car, and I just transferred to a school, and I remember how she said I wasn't doing enough to see her when we were like 2 hours apart. And she was like, yeah, you don't make an effort to come down and see me and everything. She literally said that. I was like, oh, okay. Yep. And due to some other things, we ended it after that. And then another ex, she really sounded similar, but it was even crazier because after a couple years of dating, I was like going through, grad school, 2 jobs, and I had my knee was busted, and I was healing from a knee surgery, and it was my right leg, so it was, that's the pedal, gas, all that. And she said something very similar. She was like, I just feel like I'm doing everything, to keep us together and to see us. And I was just like, okay, well, we talked about this a couple months ago, hun, and this is what it was going to be just with traveling. And also, we were like around 2 hours apart. And I'm like, I'm not really supposed to be driving, unless I have to. And I'm not supposed to be driving more than 15 minutes at a time, especially with my knee. So, yeah, you got to pick up on the selfishness, guys, because just imagine if you're further down the road and you're sick, is she going to help you out? Or is she going to make things worse and worry about herself and then also not help you out just because? And plus, sometimes you can't help yourself out, right? And then even just think about your kids. Like, you see it all the time. The woman got a designer bag, but her babies look raggedy. Or her babies don't eat the best. I hear a lot of women online complaining about how it's hard to do all this stuff for the family when really it's stuff that people have been doing for their kids for centuries, with less resources. So yeah, stuff is hard to a certain extent, but if I see a pattern, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So yeah, guys, just stay away from selfish women.